Ken, thank you for your time. I thought it was important today that we get viewers up to speed on the discussions you've had, the submission you've made to WorkSafe Victoria, and confirmation that we had back in March when you were on the program that they are indeed investigating the Victorian government. What's the latest?
Well, the latest is no more news at this stage, and we've still got the deadline of June 30 where they have to reply to us on all of the 142 allegations that we've made, and they must reply to us in detail as to whether they are prosecuting or not. And if they are not prosecuting, then they have to explain in detail why not. So that's where it stands, and that's what we're still waiting for. And I've got to say we're a little bit disappointed that we're not seeing more action.
Yeah, it is extraordinary. I went through the latest news today out of The Age. Two senior managers of the Novotel Hotel in Melbourne sacked. We saw yesterday in The Australian just a calamity, a litany of failures going back even in the last month or so, all the way through to January, all in and around the February lockdown, going back to claims where the man with the nebuliser was really thrown under the bus by the Premier, and secret reports make it clear that he was not at fault with the outbreak we saw around Valentine's Day. Does any of this surprise you?
Well, Peter, this is the fourth attempt by the Victorian government to get the hotel quarantine program right. Now, the reality is that the authority in Victoria with the greatest power to investigate and get this fixed is the WorkSafe Authority. Now, they should have, in our view, moved March, April or May of last year, 12 months ago. And they should have moved hard and fast with investigations and undertaken the prosecutions. Our view is that if they had done that, there would have been a very fast correction of all of the problems that have been occurring. So because in our view, WorkSafe have not done this, we find a situation of what can only be described as continuing confusion and chaos, as we're seeing all the time with the hotel quarantine program, and the fourth attempt to do this. And what that is really doing is continuing to put the health and safety of all Victorians and in turn Australians at significant risk. Now, the WorkSafe Authority is the group that has the power to do something about this and do something about it now. And nothing speaks louder to people than prosecution.
If Victoria was a company, you know, if Victorian Quarantine was a company like companies your members run, they'd be shut down, the directors would be in jail, and it'd be an administration. I mean, we've just had one failure after another. We've had the two managers sacked today, reported today that they've been sacked. We had others stood down on full pay, I might add, yesterday. When's this going to end?
Well, it should have ended. It should have ended last year. It should have ended with prosecutions, with a complete, and the prosecutions leading to a complete clean out of the whole processes. And yet it's continued to roll on and on and on. And I think we've got to be very, very concerned that WorkSafe hasn't moved. And so that's why we're running the ads. It's really quite ridiculous that private individuals in our society need to be going to this sort of extent to try and get the appropriate authority, the WorkSafe Authority, to do their job. It's very, very simple. We're just straightforward asking them to do their job. If they were to do their job, do it robustly, do it properly, as they would do in the private sector, as you say, then we would have a much better situation in our view, and there would be a considerable improvement in the management processes of the hotel quarantine.
Yes, and of course, the two lead witnesses, the Premier and the Police Minister, are both on leave and have been for a number of months. Ken Phillips, thanks as always for your time. We'll stay across those dates and talk to you closer to the time when we should have a response back from WorkSafe Victoria.